Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body
Hello. You are now tuned in to the A Little Bit a Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome back to another week. Guys, when I tell you that I've been fighting for my life this week, I quite literally have been fighting for my life. Everything that could go wrong has been going wrong with my content, my equipment. The first time that I tried to film this episode, something was wrong with the audio. I'm seriously at my wit's end, honestly, but we must persevere. We must keep fighting. We can't let these demons win, right? Type thing. So we're pushing through, and I just want to let you guys know how hard your girl is working, okay? Because this week has just not been for the week. No pun intended. Oh my god. Some tears have literally been shed. I've been wanting to give up, but whatever. Whatever. So yeah, it just hasn't been easy, but we're here, okay? And I have a rapid fire that I wanted to do today because we have quite a few things on the docket when it comes to pop culture, hot goss, different things that have been happening that have been on my For You page that have kind of caught my attention that I wanted to discuss with you guys, because I haven't really had a chance to get into any pop culture or gossip things that has been going on, current events, because the last couple of weeks I've been busy, with my High School Musical series where I reacted to High School Musical 1, 2, and 3 with my sister and shared my thoughts. So make sure you check that out if you haven't after you finish this episode. That was a lot of fun. And then last week's upload, I uploaded a vlog for my birthday. It was my 29th birthday that I celebrated, and I went on a trip to Chicago, try some new things there. That was a lot of fun. I also got to see the Good Children live show with Andrew and Joe. Love them down, love their podcast. So you already know your girl had to pull up. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out as well. So I'm it's time for us to get into it and talk about some things that I haven't had a chance to discuss yet. So before we get into that, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, thank you. I appreciate it. Go ahead and give that like for me. Comment down below to let me know what you think about today's topics, and subscribe. Your girl's on her road to her first 700 subscribers. So I would really, really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on, and don't be afraid to subscribe if you haven't already. 90% of my viewers just watch, right? I see y'all and you don't hit that button, and I understand it could be a little bit, intimidating to decide to commit on if you want to subscribe to a creator. I get that, right? But here you won't regret it. The show is called A Little Bit a Lot because we talk about a little bit a lot. Mental health, pop culture, nostalgia. We've all got it right here. It's giving one-stop shop, so you really don't need any other show. For real, not to toot my own horn. So if you want to hit the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate that, for real. And then if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead and rate that 5 stars and leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. So when it comes to the pop culture drama, the main thing that has been on my timeline is all of this stuff going on with Poppi. I was like, girl, it's getting really crazy out here. The brands are fighting for their lives, and America is not playing when it comes to overconsumption with these brands. So for those who don't know, I wanted to kind of do a deep dive, well, not deep, but subtle deep dive into figuring out what even is Poppi. I'm what is in the drinks and what makes it so different, and why they feel like they need to be doing the most right now, and what is going on with the controversy. So when I went to their website, I looked it up, and it says, why Poppi? The freedom to love soda again. It's a soda brand. And it says, no more hiding cans in the bottom of your recycling bin or sipping sparkling water with your burger and fries. You deserve that mouth-watering swirl of flavors and bubbles without the baggage. Get all the soda feels with 5 grams of sugar, ingredients you love, and prebiotics. Remember, cravings aren't a crime, people. It's time to love soda again. I'm right. And then they have a section on the website where they talk about the prebiotics that are in the drinks. And it says that prebiotics are a special type of fiber that can act as a food for healthy bacteria in your gut. So each can of Poppi includes agave inulin, I think that's how you pronounce it, a prebiotic, which is a natural sweetener, and extracted from the agave tequilana, I think that's how you say it, plant. And then it also has apple cider vinegar in it. Every can of Poppi contains apple cider vinegar. Ours is pure and unfiltered, so it contains the mother. I never understand what the frick that is. Like, what is the mother? And it gives our flavors a mouthwatering edge. Seriously, try it. And then the last section on the website, it basically just says, what is Poppi, to give you an overview. We all know soda is delicious. It's undeniable, but most sodas are loaded with empty calories and excess sugar. So we decided to make a better one. Poppi is a modern soda that combines, like I said before, agave, inulin, apple cider vinegar, and fruit juice to give you all the soda feels with 25 calories or less, 5 grams of sugar or less, and prebiotics. So I'm like, okay, right. So the drama that's currently going on right now is that Poppi paid a lot of money to be able to be featured in a Super Bowl ad, I believe, and to promote all of that and like their drinks and stuff. And with the Super Bowl of it all, they sent these vending machines that were filled with Poppi cans to like around, I think, 30 influencers. And allegedly they spent around $25,000 per vending machine. But I read that Poppi clapped back and basically said that that was like 60% more than what they actually spent on it. And a TikToker was like, okay, well, if that's true, then that means you still paid around $15,000 per vending machine. That's still a lot of money. So basically, I think Trisha Paytas also got a vending machine, and they sent it to the influencers' houses, and I think they kept it for like a week or something like that, and then they took it back. But still, they gave them the machines for a temporary amount of time. And I feel like a lot of people were upset. They said that they felt like the vending machines should have gone to homeless shelters or people in need, or even like college campuses, so that way people that are in less fortunate situations can try the drinks out. And they feel like they're kind of just over influencers getting these expensive, like lavish gifts from brands, and the brands not focusing on the consumers, which is really the important target audience rather than like influencers. So they're over it. Like, no more are the days of people being impressed with brands sending somebody a Gucci bag or Dior, for collaborating with them. Like, they want brands to be boots on the ground working with the community. Like, the influencers are out, I guess. And yeah, and so then I guess like all of this just went super viral because so many people were really feeling some type of way about the vending machines being so expensive and them not giving it to less fortunate communities. So then I guess they have a competitor who basically makes the same type of drink called Olipop. Girl, they started getting childish and messy, and like every video that was talking crap about Poppi, they were in the comments being like basically just shading the brand, like kind of just like reveling in the fact that they're like on their downfall right now and being like, we would never. And I think they were the ones that alleged that the vending machines were $25,000 in the first place. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. This is all alleged. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. Like, not the freaking prebiotic soda brands like beefing right now. And since it got so out of control, I guess the co-founder of the brand made a statement apologizing about it and everything. And it was just really a big old mess. And I felt like this is a lot of controversy to have to go through over a drink that's not even good. No shade, no tea. I do not like these prebiotic sodas. I think I've tried an Olipop and a Poppi, and both of them are disgusting. Now I see that they have the apple cider vinegar in there, and it feels like it's like sparkling apple cider vinegar. That's what it tastes like to me. None of the flavors that I've tried are good. Like, no shade, no tea if you like these drinks, but I think they are absolutely horrid. I'm like, girl, what is the issue right here? Granted, I don't even like the taste of sparkling water, so maybe that's why I don't really like it. But no matter how much flavoring they add to it, like, it just doesn't taste good to me. So I'm just like, guys, what is the point of all of this when regular soda is just better? Okay, like, go back to the drawing board and try to figure this out again, because it doesn't taste good. And matter of fact, I've never really seen too many videos of people actually talking about the taste. Like, am I the only one that thinks it's nasty? Like, can we make some noise? Make some noise in the chat if you think the probiotic sodas are nasty too. Like, I don't know. So I thought that drama was interesting. Let me know in the comments on YouTube or, Spotify what you think about it. Do you like the prebiotic sodas? Like, what's the tea? Next drama or, pop culture moment that we have is Beyonce going on the Cowboy Carter tour. Period. I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about that, but I'm really excited to see all of the footage, like what she has in store for this tour, because the Renaissance tour was absolutely crazy. Like, I miss that era when pretty much every night we were getting new POVs, new video footage of all the stops and her different outfits and stuff like that. Like, even if you didn't go to a show, like, you still felt like you had been to all of the shows based on like all of the videos and TikToks that people were taking where they went to the different stops. So I cannot wait to see all of the videos. And unfortunately, I made the executive decision, to be an adult and be responsible and not go, because one, I was really sad that she's not going to a lot of dates. She's going to LA, Chicago, New York, Paris, Houston, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, and Las Vegas. No Detroit. I'm like, guys, what's the issue? Like, what's the tea? I am so sick of concerts and events like not being in Detroit. Like, everything is in Chicago. And it's like, I get it to a certain extent, but at the same time, like, oh my God, it's frustrating for me because those that watch my show know I stay about an hour from Detroit. So going to events in Detroit is easier for me, but I'm about 4 hours away from Chicago. So then if I have to go to Chicago for an event, then I have to pay an arm and a leg and sell a kidney to even get a hotel that's like within the city where they don't cause you to pay $1,000 for a couple of days. Then they want $7,000 for valet, $7,000 for incidentals that they hold on your card. It's too much. We really need to talk about the issue with Chicago hotels and all of the freaking fees and valet and crap that they charge. Like, why are these hotels so expensive? Then you think, okay, maybe let me get an Airbnb. The Airbnbs are just as pricey too. Like, god dang, y'all want $7,000 for a cleaning fee. Then on top of that, it's on the third floor, no elevator. Like, child, it's a job. So, it's not really like always the best thing financially for me to have to go to Chicago for events, but if it's that serious, I will figure it out. But when it comes to Beyonce, I'm like, I gotta take a pass, because then on top of that, I saw how expensive the tickets were, just even for nosebleeds. And you guys know that I'm planning on moving, which update, I think my move-in date is around like April something. So we're finally making moves and I'm going to get my new place. So I really need to like focus on that and start packing and like getting all of that figured out. So I'm like, I need to just be responsible and lock in and focus on that rather than trying to like figure out my finances to make it to the Chicago stop. Then on top of that, in the Chicago stop, it's going to be at the Soldier Field. I don't like the Soldier Field. The parking is really stupid there. Like, last time I went, I literally got lost and like couldn't find the parking garage. I know that's probably user error, but like, still, why is this venue so stupid? Like, the way it's set up is so ridiculous. Compared to the Ford Field in Detroit, the Soldier Field doesn't have a roof. So I'm like, okay, it's cold. Like, there's just so many negative things about the venue that she's going to in Chicago, and I really wish she would be going to Detroit, and maybe I would consider it. But at the end of the day, I'm unfortunately not going, and I made peace with that, because at the end of the day, I'm really happy with my Renaissance experience, going to that tour. So like, it is what it is. But yeah, so for those that are going to the Cowboy Carter tour, I hope you guys have a great time. Also, I never got to talk about the fact that Cowboy Carter won Album of the Year at the Grammys. Period. I know there was so much conversation surrounding the fact that they feel like so many of her other albums should have been nominated, but I do think that Cowboy Carter deserves it just because she put, so much work into this album. There's just so much history with her talking about like her, personal relationship with country music. She felt like she wasn't embraced at like in the country genre. That whole like drama going on where she performed at the Country Music Awards and people had a lot of things to say about that and she didn't feel welcomed in the space. So it's always a good thing when Beyonce feels like she has something to prove, and you could really feel that when you listen to this project. She's like, Black girls can do country too. Like, and at the end of the day, she talks about like the history of like, you know, how much Black Americans have contributed to like the shaping of America, you know, and like the history of Black people that is rooted in country. So she's really just telling a story, okay? So at the end of the day, I feel like it deserves it. Of course, every other album also deserves it, but it is what it is. We can't turn back time. I'm just glad that she finally got album of the year for this as well. And plus she got best duo slash group performance for Two Most Wanted with Miley Cyrus. That is one of my favorite songs on the album, and that's like well deserved as well. So shout out to Beyonce, Love You Down. Then we have the new Drake album. I believe it's called Some Sexy Songs for You. He did a collaboration with Party Next Door. I'm not really a Party Next Door fan, so I wasn't like too excited when I heard about it, but I'm like, I'm sure if it's anything like his project with like 21 Savage, like we'll have like just Drake songs, and thankfully we did. Honestly, sometimes it's hard for me to even tell the difference between like if Party Next Door is talking or if it's Drake. I'm like, huh? Like, I know, once again, user error, I'm sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, I know that there was a lot of controversy surrounding this album as well. Of course, I think this is like his first project post Kendrick beef. So there was a lot of expectations on this. But it seems like Drake didn't really like let it affect his work. And he kind of just was like, it is what it is. You know, he lost the battle, whatever, he's going to keep doing him, and I love that for him. And a lot of people just, I feel like, were really hard on this project and didn't really like it, but I feel like a lot of the songs kind of just feel like old Drake, like Take Care era, and that's like the Drake that I really like. So at the end of the day, I really enjoyed a lot of songs on this project, but then again, this could be like a personal bias because I'm like a big Drake fan. Like Drake and Nicki are just like number one and two for me when it comes to like the king and queen of this, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, a lot of people can say what they want to say, but like the receipts are there. Like, say what you want, he may have lost the battle, but when it comes to streaming and like the numbers and all the certifications and the plaques and all of that, Drake is still like the most dominant man in rap at the end of the day. And like that's just facts. Like this project, I think that went number one on the Billboard 200. So it's always just so confusing to me when it comes to like Drake, or even like with, you know, Beyonce and the Cowboy Carter. Everyone's always just like, I don't really like it. I'm not messing with it. I'm not messing with it. Like just having so many think pieces and saying that it sucks. It sucks. But then when the receipts come in, the albums go number one, they have all of these streams. So then it's like, what's all the rah rah? Everybody's saying they don't like it, but apparently y'all are listening in secret, huh? So I feel like that happens a lot when it comes to like Beyonce or like Drake. Like it's always so much noise, but at the end of the day, like the coin still gets delivered, okay? Like the pockets are still fat, they're still getting the stream. So it's like, what can you really say, you know? And like you recently had some shows, was it in Australia or something like that? It's all love. Like in person, it's all love, but online, it's giving all hate. So I don't really know what's the deal with that. And I feel like that's always like a big problem, especially when it comes to like tours. A lot of people are upset with the Cowboy Carter tour because so many people online were saying how much they hated the album, but then when it's time to get the tickets, you know, so many people are trying to get tickets. And I feel like that's such a big issue for me personally whenever I go to shows, because somehow, some way, I just always end up in a section that's like literally whack, like full of people who aren't even actually like real fans, like day one fans. And it's like, no shade, no tea. I understand like everybody has the right to go to a show, even if they're not like a fan for real or not. But sometimes it's like unfortunate because then the true fans can't get tickets because then the people that were talking crap for some reason want to go. And it's like, if you don't really like the artist for real, why are you buying a ticket? Like that could go to somebody who actually really stands the artist. Because when I went to the Pink Friday 2 tour, I swear my section was giving crickets. Like nobody actually knows Falling for You. Nobody knows Let Me Calm Down. Like nobody's knowing Barbie Dangerous. Like nobody, am I a Nicki fan? My throne that can't SIT. My crown that can't FIT. I'm gonna tell you like a hitter told me. Nobody's rapping. Like, let's do our homework, guys, before you show up. Learn the material, or don't come and let those tickets go to the real Barbs, to the real Beehive, to the real Drake fans. Like, what? I'll never forget. Also, the last time I went to go see Chris Brown, like everybody pretty much seems to like only go to him and see him, that like the people that aren't actually real fans, like those that only want to see Run It, Say Goodbye, like Kiss Kiss, like girl, that is so 2005. Like, you are only here for music when he was 16. Like, he's literally performing songs from his royalty album and nobody knows it. And then it was crazy because he was like performing a song, and then this girl that was behind us tapped my boyfriend on the shoulder and was like, "What's the name of this song?" And it's like, girl, first of all, watch it, right? Like, you need to ask my man what the song is, because you see, we know what the material is. You can look the lyrics up, you can Shazam it or something. And also, it's like, then why are you here if you don't know the material? Like, that's the issue. Y'all be coming just for like the one viral TikTok song, and then you don't know nothing else. Like, I don't know. I don't even mean to be controversial or mean, I swear, but it's just like something that is really, really an issue for me. Like, what is going on? Everybody make some noise, y'all. What the heck? Ah, like, word to Sexy Red. Her meme, like, is giving crickets. Like, y'all don't know the material. So, I don't know. I just feel like it's a whole lot of like I said, rah rah. But at the end of the day, y'all are streaming the music, so I don't know. But I think a lot of the songs that I like, the main ones I like are CN Tower for Drake's album, Something About You, Spider Man, Superman, Small Town Fame, Brian, Steele, Give Me a Hug, Nokia, and Glorious. Nokia has been going up on TikTok. Baby girl, let me see you do your dance. Let me see you twirl. Like, period. That song is such a feel good song. I love it so much. Like, Drake really ate. And at the end of the day, like, he's showing time and time again, like, through the decades, that he can continue to still keep growing and evolving as an artist. Like, same thing with Nicki. So, what can you do? You know? Like, y'all be eating it up. Next, we have the Sabrina Carpenter Short and Sweet Deluxe. That finally came out. I was looking forward to it. But guys, it kind of let me down. I'm not even going to cap. Like, once again, don't cancel me. No shade, no tea. You guys know that I've talked about Sabrina Carpenter and how much I love her and have been down for her since day one on this show time and time again. But I did not like any of the songs that were on the deluxe. Like, what? But then again, I think it's also because like I like a certain type of Sabrina, just like how a lot of people say they like the black Ariana Grande. I like the black Sabrina Carpenter. You know what I mean? Like, I love like Bed Kim. I love Good Graces. Like, her kind of more like R&B type of like poppy songs. I don't know, like her more black, quote unquote, sounding songs. Those are the ones that I rock with. So none of the new songs that were on the deluxe, like, really I vibed with. The only one that's kind of a maybe is Bad Reviews, but that's just because I love like the wordplay and like the lyrics and like the theme of the song. It's really clever. You know, at the end of the day, we know that like Sabrina is a clever queen when it comes to her song concepts. Like, she's gonna eat down every single time, period. But the biggest controversy that's come from this Short and Sweet Deluxe is the fact that one of her biggest songs from Short and Sweet, called Please, 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 she did a remix for that featuring Dolly Parton, for those who don't know. And it had a lot of like strong opinions about it. A lot of people I saw online did not like Dolly Parton on this song, and they felt like she should have been on some other song. I forget the name of the song that people felt like she would have sounded better on. They were not feeling it, and people were like really ripping into Dolly. But like, so many people were saying, like, I saw a comment that said that she sounded like an injured cat. Like, what? Not too much on Dolly, okay? Like, what? Some people said that she sounded like she was like an AI feature. And then every parody like video that I saw of them making fun of her verse, they said it kind of sounded like Dolly was creeping up behind you. It was gonna grab your shoulder. Like, come on. Like, what are we expecting though? At the end of the day, like, Dolly's 79. Okay. And I literally just saw last night that her husband died at like 82. So how much time do we really have left with Dolly, for real? Which I'm like gagged, because I didn't even know that Dolly had a husband. I'm like, wait, huh? Like, rest in peace for real is not even funny. So, hoping that she does okay with this grieving process. But at the end of the day, like, I'm living for Dolly, continuously, like, pushing herself and, her brand and trying to stay relevant, like, up until her very last breath. I know that's right. Like, Dolly is literally the most booked and busy 79-year-old. Like, if you follow her on Instagram, like, I've said this before, but, like, she's always working. Like, she's literally casting right now for her Dolly Parton musical. She has, like, fragrances, I think, and, like, a makeup line or something like that. Either way, I even saw, like, some Dolly, like, kitchen wear at Dollar General one time. Like, I don't even know. Like, she literally has so many different business ventures going on at once. Like, even with, like, her cooking and, like, the content that she does with her sister. Like, it's crazy, bruh. Like, Dolly be working, like, WERKING, work. I know that's right. Like, we can only aspire to be able to have that work ethic at that age. Like, she could very well just not be as active, like, literally just give retirement, and, like, we hardly ever see her, and that would be her right, and she would financially be well, I'm sure. But she's gonna continue to keep pushing because you could tell that she likes to work and she likes what she does. So love you down, Dolly. So sorry that everybody's been talking crap about you. I'm not saying that her vocals were like the best, but at the end of the day, I think it's a cute thing. She looked cute in the music video. Like, it's an honor to be able to have her on the track. So love her down. Next, we have the Bhad Bhabie and Alabama Barker drama. Guys, this has really gotten out of control. I really did not think that it was going to go this far, but then again, once again, it's like, why do we continue to keep, like, underestimating Bhad Bhabie? She's told you time and time again that she's not mentally stable. Literally that's like came from her mouth. you know, like I think somebody did an interview and they asked her about like the best mental health advice, and she was like, I'm not mentally stable, I'm crazy, so you probably shouldn't be asking me. And it's like, okay, we stand like an accountability queen, right? But for those who don't know, Alabama Barker is the daughter of Travis Barker. He's a famous drummer. And Bhad Bhabie, of course, is a rapper, and she's like gone viral because, she's the Cash Me Outside, How About That Girl from Dr. Phil. So she's been making music, and Alabama has too, but Alabama's really done like a 180 when it comes to her music. Like, clips are resurfacing of Alabama when she used to do music when she was younger, and it was very like Rebecca Black, like Friday, gotta get down on Friday, like very like, cookie cutter pop music. But now she's kind of like completely changed her aesthetic, and a lot of people don't like the fact that they feel like she's just like kind of, benefiting from like Black culture, like dressing and looking like a Black girl, wearing wigs, doing her makeup like a Black girl. That's what the people are saying, child. Like, that's the issue that they have with her. They don't like the fact that she has a lot of Black friends, that always be Black dudes in her room and in her space whenever she's on live. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that she's completely changed her voice to sound, more quote unquote hood. It's a lot of middle fingers. It's a lot of serving body. It's a lot of boobs. It's a lot of butt. She's got grills. Like, it's giving strippers. It's giving throwing the ones. Like, at the end of the day, like, it is very stereotypically Black in the direction that she's moved in. So the girlies aren't feeling that. But then again, you could say the same thing for Bhad Bhabie. Her music is pretty much the same too. So is one really better than the other? No. At the end of the day, there's still white women who are benefiting from Black culture and appropriation. So that's just really the tea at the end of the day. Like, you can't take away like their privilege in that sense, and the fact that they are benefiting from that. But yeah, so I guess they're beefing because allegedly Bhad Bhabie was alleging that Alabama took her baby daddy, which I'm just like so confused, because it's like, in my opinion, when it comes to like getting mad at the girl who took your, baby daddy or took your boyfriend, I feel like it's kind of a waste of energy, because that girl like doesn't owe you any loyalty like your man does, especially if that's like the father of your child. Like, he's the problem, he should be the one that you're upset at. But I do understand that Bhad Bhabie kind of felt like even more of a ways, because guess she believed that her and Alabama were friends. So then it becomes like a matter of girl code. And like, that is shady if that's true, if what she's alleging is true. But at the end of the day, like, your baby daddy's the problem, sis. Like, beef with him. But okay. So I guess, she's like, yeah, she took my baby daddy, and Alabama saying no. And she's like, at the end of the day, like, he tried to get on me and he told me that y'all were broken up. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still kind of unclear on if Alabama, like, genuinely tried to get with her baby daddy or not. But it is what it is. Bhad Bhabie said what she said. So then they were going back and forth with each other with receipts and stuff like that, arguing, and Bhad Bhabie yelling at her phone on live. And I'm like, girl, is your baby taking a nap? Like, how is there so much noise going on in the house and you have, a child? But whatever. And next thing you know, I guess they got tired of talking on the internet. So then they decided to start doing diss tracks towards each other. Alabama did hers. I didn't really think it was like all that great. Like, at the end of the day, I was kind of looking forward to hearing what her music would sound like. But when she dropped that diss track and then she dropped Vogue, I didn't really like it that much. So I'm like, girl, I don't know. So then that's when Bhad Bhabie wrote her diss track back, and she kind of crapped all over Alabama. I'm not even going to cap. Like, at the end of the day, I don't want to choose sides in this situation because the beef is like dumb to me in general. And like, that's kind of just white people business. That don't got nothing to do with me, an African American, girly. But I'm just like, girl, what? Like, Bhad Bhabie kind of whooped Alabama, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it. Because at the end of the day, like, I did used to like Bhad Bhabie's music, like Gucci flip flops, like Young and Bad with City Girls, like, used to tear. I'm not even gonna cap. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, even if I don't like her as a person, the music did eat a bit. It did eat a bit. So I'm like, okay, give credit when credit is due. And she kind of ate on this record. And on top of that, to make it even more gaggier, Bhad Bhabie, if you don't know, used a Kanye West sample. And like, that gets a little bit tricky because like, technically, like, Kanye West, his kids are always like around Alabama Barker because, her mom is Kourtney Kardashian. So like, what? Like, it's technically, affiliated with the family. And I guess like, then after that, Bhad Bhabie like was in the studio and like recorded a video where you could hear Kanye West on the song, and it was supposed to be like a remix. And people are like, okay, this has also gone too far because not only did she use a Kanye West sample, but then Kanye West is on the song. Like, once again, your children are around Alabama. Like, what is the tea? Like, why are you getting involved? So then I guess that's when Kanye was like, okay, enough is enough. He went and made a video and he like tried to clear the air. And he was basically like, I understand that I cleared the sample because I didn't really like think too much about it, because he's alleging that he knows how hard it is to like get samples cleared, so he just cleared it. Which I'm like, I bet you now wishing you would have paid a little bit more attention to what the sample was going to be used for and who was requesting it before you approved it. But he was like, but at the end of the day, like, that's not me on that song. Like, that's AI, and I don't have nothing to do with this. Like, I just talked to Travis Barker, which, like I said, is Alabama Barker's dad. And, like, that's not me. I'm not in the middle of this. Like, yes, I cleared the sample, but, like, when it comes to me hopping on the song, like, that's not the tea. And one thing that I just thought it was like kind of confusing and a little bit problematic is the fact that it's like, this is what you choose to clear up, Kanye. Like, out of all the controversies and the problematic things that you've done with like you going crazy and having your rants on Twitter/X, you allegedly selling like pro-Nazi merchandise on your website, you forcing your wife to show her naked body on the Grammys red carpet, of all the problematic things, you saying that slavery is a choice, it's absolutely diabolical, absolutely harmful, like, just horrible things that you've said and done, and controversies that have swirled around, like, that you either said or that have been rumored to be said. This is what you clear up? Alabama and Bhad Bhabie beef? So that was like side eye as well. So at the end of the day, like, every single thing about this drama is just so insane. And at the end of the day, the behavior coming from Bhad Bhabie is like not too surprising, but the behavior coming from like Alabama is just so confusing, because at the end of the day, like Alabama technically has the upper hand in this situation with her being like a nepotism baby. Like both Bhad Bhabie and Alabama benefit because, they have like certain privileges because they're white, yes, but Alabama even more so because her dad is famous. Like, you are literally affiliated with the Kardashians. Like, you could do anything, you could be anything, you could live anywhere, you could have any type of friends, you could be cultured in so many different ways. You like I personally feel like she's not using her nepotism to her advantage, and crashing out over somebody's baby daddy is just crazy work. And like, especially with all the things that Bhad Bhabie is alleging about Alabama, I hope that they're not true, but if they are, it's like, girl, what is going on right now? Like, I think she's only 19 and you're allegedly doing this, that, and the other. Like, the fact that you're even in this drama right now with this girl wasting her time at 19 beefing with Bhad Bhabie is already just a waste of resources. Like, you could be doing so much more that's like positive, that's going to impact like you building a career, building businesses, but you're using your resources to start a rap career. And at the end of the day, it's like, no shade, no tea to a rap career. I understand that, the industry is like sucky in general, I guess, no matter how much money you have. But still, like, your dad is already a part of the music industry. Like, you could choose to like pave a different way and just do so many different things where we wouldn't even need to really hear from you because you'd be off living your best life. But instead, you're always just sitting around on live, curling your hair, getting ready to go somewhere that we never really see you going anywhere, but you're somehow always getting ready, like just hanging with whoever, doesn't really seem to be around like the best crowd or have the best influences around her, and creating rap beef and messing with other people's baby daddies. Like, girl, it's just too much. And at the end of the day, it's like, what's the point of even having a nepotism lifestyle and having like a famous dad if he can't like help you when it comes to these situations? Like, how come Travis hasn't intervened up until this point? Like, has he tried to encourage her to like maybe cut all of this out and like try to, have different career goals, like in a different lane, different avenue that's like not music, or like what? Like, I'm just so confused. And the fact that like Travis Barker has like intervened only now to talk to Kanye is like so confusing to me. Like, at the end of the day, we don't know. Maybe he has tried to like do his best to like push her down the best path, and she's at the end of the day an adult now. She can do what she wants, but it's like, what's going on, Travis? Like, we need you to help your child see the brighter side. Like, she can't keep doing this. She can't keep crashing out and going down this path. But at the end of the day, it's also not surprising because, a lot of people are like talking crap about Travis and being like, it's not a surprise that his daughter is such a mess because, their mom is a mess and he's a mess. And, there's so many different things that like people are alleging about Travis being problematic, and like, they're alleging that like he really wanted Kim Kardashian in the first place, but settled for Kourtney. Like, child, I don't know. It's really a lot of white people mess that's going on right now. And we just gonna have to let them keep doing what they do. But I just personally feel like if I were Alabama and I had all of the opportunities that she has with being a nepotism baby, you would not catch me in any of this type of drama doing any of these things. Like, I would just be utilizing it to just make so much more of myself, in my opinion. But it's her life. She's gonna do what she wants to do, Like, but a lot of people just feel like, girl, you're trying to act like you're not from Calabasas. What's up with that? Like, okay, Bhad Bhabie makes more sense. She doesn't come from, what Alabama comes from. But what's your excuse, Alabama? Like, what's your excuse for this behavior? I don't know. And I'm not trying to be, too hard on her, because at the end of the day, she's only 19, and growing up in the public eye in this way and pretty much having like a dad that's famous your whole life, I'm sure isn't easy. Like, I'm not discrediting, I guess, completely, her struggles, I guess, but we do have to like hold her accountable to some capacity and acknowledge that she has privilege in a way that a lot of people don't, and opportunities in a way that a lot of people don't. And we can only wish, of course, that she would use it more responsibly, right? But that's what's going on with that. So yeah, those are just a couple of the things that have just been like catching my eye on my For You page with all of the drama with everything. So glad that I was able to chat with you guys about it. And of course, if there's like any other topics with pop culture or like current events that you guys would like me to discuss, feel free to send me a DM, comment on my YouTube channel. You know where to find me: TikTok, Instagram, like at A Little Bit of Loud Podcast. Like, you can always let me know, because I would love to be able to just talk about what you guys want me to talk about as well and incorporate that into my episodes. So thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, if you're watching on YouTube, give this video a like, comment down below to let me know what you think about everything, and subscribe and rate that 5 stars and leave a review on Spotify and Apple. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya.